Hello everyone and welcome into the Arizona Varsity post-game show following Casteel's 42-27 win over Centennial in the 6A championship. Adam Beadle alongside Cody Cameron here on this Saturday afternoon. And Cody, I'm just amazed. I mean, we just watched a heck of a game, a great performance from T. Smith, Troy Harugi, Bryce Greer. I mean, Casteel's offense was going crazy, but then in the second half, their defense came out and just got a ton of stops. What is there to take away just from this?
I think when you start to look in the offseason of Casteel, right, hire Joe Bushman, who had a really good high school career in the state of Oregon and then college career, obviously, in the state of Oregon too, he was able to put together a staff that he trusted. And I think that's, I mean, honestly, when you look at the last 10 months, I think this is why stuff like this happens. Chandler Unified strikes gold under Coach Bushman, but that team got to work. And I think anybody would be lying if you looked at that roster before the season started. Granted, they had some really good kids, they had some really good pieces, but I don't know if you would take it over some of the other teams in Chandler Unified or 6A. Just call it what it is. Those kids played their butts off this year. And I think they played inspired. I think they played inspired under Coach Bushman. I don't think anybody in the state of Arizona is going to say this Casteel team would be state champs. Guess what? They proved everybody wrong, and they believed in themselves. And just talking to some of the players and coaches after this game here, they believed in themselves since day one. They said, hey, we got to work, we restructured our culture, we bought in, we had it fun. I think these kids had so much fun playing football this year. It's amazing to see what happened, but those kids believed in it all year.
Absolutely. And really go from the beginning of the year to mid-year, when we see T. Smith inserted into this offense, it really just seemed like we saw a completely different Casteel team. And in a way, it kind of feels like Smith sitting those first 5 games was sort of a blessing in a disguise for Casteel.
Yeah, I said this on Recruiting Roundup. When T. Smith got the helm on week 6, I didn't know what type of player they have. I mean, yeah, I saw his older brother Genesis play at Hamilton all those years, but a different kid, totally different position. Didn't have a ton of tape coming over from Hamilton. We watched him in 7s. I remember being out with you watching him a little bit, and he looked great on air, but we're talking about on air, right? We're talking 7-on-7. He came in and it was smooth. I mean, really smooth transition, but lit it up. You're talking about one of the most electrifying football players in the class of 2027. We talk about that class all the time. It is loaded.
It is loaded.
It is a loaded group in the class of 2027. He is so fun to watch, Adam. And then here tonight, I'm just looking at the stats here. I mean, T. Smith, he had 18 carries for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that one he broke for 68 down the right sideline. At most times, he looks like the most athletic football player and the best football player on the field, and I think he was perfect for that offense. And the other thing that really impressed me with him this year, he made everybody else around him better. Not just at the skill position, too. I think those big offensive linemen, which is a really good group, led by Bryce Greer, the NAU signee, I think it was a group that loved to block for him. And when you have that unison and everybody believing in each other, you're going to have a dangerous team. That's why Casteel is now 6A champ.
And we see them do some really smart things offensively too, and we know that from Joe Bushman and what he's done in the past. They bring in that 12 personnel, and they've really been able to use it to their advantage all year, and that's exactly what they did here tonight.
Yeah, they go north to south.
Yeah.
You know, we say it all the time, especially on the broadcasting side. It's like, I don't know, there's a lot of people that like to go empty, throw the ball 40 to 50 times, which is all good. If that's your offense, you want to go fast, it is what it is. That's the coaching scheme. These guys want to go north to south. And when you look really from the Quinn Creek game, that Bulldog game that they played, that beat them 28-0, and that was also Tate Reynolds inserting himself back in the lineup of that Quinn Creek game. That Quinn Creek team's very tough, and I think from that game on, Casteel was like, hey, we can play against anybody. We can play against anybody. And they went on an absolute tear. When you look at the playoffs, they put up some serious yardage against Brophy, a team with a ton of Division I guys, and constantly, every single week, this Casteel team, you're like, these guys might be able to beat everybody, but they did it in a way that was Casteel football. Defensively, bend don't break. Under Coach Swope, his first year as defense coordinator, talk about one of the best minds, best young minds in Arizona high school football. That's Coach Swope. And then offensively, it's, we are going to gash you. We're going to go north to south. They're going to protect the football. Good things happen when you do that.
Defense was able to force turnovers. We saw that in the first drive of the game. Casteel came in 3 plays later, took advantage of it. Let's talk a little bit about this Centennial team. A lot of young guys, but they've got one senior in there in particular who was really driving the ball for them all day. Owen Reynoso, 21 carries, 204 yards. Just his ability to move the ball downfield in Centennial. They couldn't pull it out in the second half, but what did you see from the Coyotes that kind of, in the first half, brought that anticipation of, hey, you know, this is going to be a game to the close one until Casteel went and ran for it.
There was a time where it was 14-7 in this football game. Yeah. And I think us as media was like, okay, Centennial's woken up because they started off really, really slow, and at that 14-7 mark early on, Centennial looking like they're going to be reigning back-to-back champs, and they had been here. This is 3 years in a row. They played at Sun Devil Stadium. The thing about Centennial is they are so young. I remember broadcasting that Centennial Mountain View game, which is, quote unquote, the first game of the Open this year. And I'm doing my broadcast prep, and it's all sophomores and juniors. I'm like, man, these guys are going to be totally fine the next 2 years. Really good. So much talent. I think just with them today, offensively, they're fine. Owen Reynoso, he is really good. That's a really good running back. And talking to Coach Schwab, Casteel's DC, he gave him so much credit. He goes, that's a kid with tremendous vision, great balance. We were there talking to him, and he's so impressed with Reynoso's game. I just think on the defensive side of the ball, there was never a time where I think they executed every single series, every single play, every single series. I think there's a lot of mistakes in that Centennial back half, especially in the secondary where there's a 3rd and 17. Every Centennial Davis I've seen, hey, they're attacking the quarterback and keeping everything in front of them. There's a lot of big plays given up on that Centennial defense tonight. And I know Coach Taylor is going to be the first one to go, we got to clean this up in the offseason. But that could be you too. It could be you too. You have that many sophomores and juniors starting. They had so many injuries this year. And I'm not making excuses for the Coyotes. This is just what happened to them. And I think someone said it too. They never really thought Centennial had the opportunity this year to play a full game because of injuries and guys sitting out and stuff like that. So I think the best is yet to come for Centennial. They have so much good young talent in the class of 2027 and 2028. But of course, this one's going to hurt.
And that was kind of almost the same thing for Centennial last year. You look at the way they had the injuries, waited for all those transfers, Nico Boncourt, just waiting for them to go in and then making the run they did in the playoffs. Obviously, they had a little bit more, of that juice and those players healthy throughout the course of the season. But this game kind of really tells that the turnover from Richard Taylor to Andrew Taylor is not that much, and maybe a year's time, Centennial is going to be right back to the same exact spot.
Seamless. Andrew Taylor is an amazing football coach, and there's conversations, right? Us as media will have, and people in the state that go, can an assistant coach be a really good assistant coach, but not make a good head coach?
Right.
This is not the case. Andrew Taylor is going to be an extremely successful head football coach. Why? He holds his kids accountable. He's schematic-wise, I have been with that coach in a film room. He can break everything down, and the players respond really well to Andrew Taylor. He is a leader on and off the field. He will be totally fine. He is going to win many games continuously as a Coyotes head football coach. I just think today, Casteel is a better football team. I think it's point blank, and in special teams. Special teams is huge. Centennial had a 17-yard punt. Casteel scored a couple of plays later. Centennial goes 3 and out, punts the ball down again, and Casteel takes it to the house. That's a huge swing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we waited to the very end. Let's talk about T. Smith and what a special player he's turning into. Do you expect T. Smith to be a guy that's going to gauge some Division I interest this offseason?
I give credit to you because Adam comes up and he goes, man, I got to tell NAU to get this kid. And I go, if NAU gets T. Smith, that means many conferences in FBS college football did not do their homework. T. Smith is better than the Big Sky Conference. He is so talented. And the reason being is because what he can do. He's so smart, he's so intelligent. Frame-wise,
kind of reminds you of like a Noah Fafita in a way.
Very, very talented. I think when you look at the Mountain West schools that recruit out here, T. Smith should be high on the recruiting board. He's a winner. He can make throws. He can make the right plays. He puts your offense in position to be successful. So I would recruit T. Smith 100% if you're an FBS school. NAU, if you do get the opportunity to get T. Smith, we're winning some Big Sky championships, baby. I just don't think we're going to get him. I think he's too good of a player.
Cody's excited for the potential of that. Real quickly, last thing, what can people expect, or what should we expect to see from both of these teams going into this offseason before next season?
I think they're going to attack right away. When they're just talking to Casteel's coaching staff already, they're already talking about team camp and attacking the weight room in January, but also building. Building. Casteel's in Chandler Unified School District. All these guys fight for the same 8th graders, but Casteel's in a gold mine. Their junior high is attached to campus. The biggest thing with that school is getting those 7th and 8th graders that attend Casteel. They literally go to school at Casteel to go into high school at Casteel. They don't go to Perry. They don't get to Basha. So as a staff, that is what they're going to do as well in January. And guess what? No better, I guess, recruiting pitch to an 8th grader outside of, hey, we're the 6A state champs, right? And if you're Centennial, if you're the Coyotes, I know what they do. In the offseason, it's track, it's weight room. We're going to stay quiet. We're going to let this fuel us. And I think coming off a 6A state win last year, where they totally outplayed Mountain View. Like they attacked the Toros all day last year, and I mean, they used that to advantage there, but you know, it's harder to stay on the throne. Here they have motivation all year. Going, we remember that loss. You look at the sophomores and juniors, we remember that loss. Every single rep in the weight room, every single practice in the offseason, every track workout, use that to fuel you. Centennial's going to use that. They'll be fine.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we're just finishing up, and Panic at the Disco finally decided to cut off after 20 minutes. But Cody, appreciate you again. Final score here today: Casteel 42, Centennial 27, Big 6A championship. Still one more left to go. Basha and Chandler facing off in the Open Division Championship. Stay tuned to Arizona Varsity on Instagram, not Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube, anywhere you can find Arizona Varsity. We'll have lots of content coming your way. For now, that's the final from the 6A championship.